All right, shalom, shalom. I want to first and foremost start off by giving infinite praises unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. All right, I want to say shalom, Washan Yakabad, Gadwala Rakab Zaquanium Nawa. All right, this double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and shalom wa barakim labakarim shal yasha Allah. Okay, that's peace and blessing unto the elect. And as you can see, I'm watching the elder Ariala's video from the Dallas camp entitled AHCHYAM have to Salakia AHCHYAM have dignity and respect towards this ministry. And pretty much it made me ponder upon a few precepts. And the first one that comes to mind, matter of fact, I'll just grab it, is 2 Peter's chapter 3, and I'll read it, verse 11. It says, "Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness?" And really that goes towards the ministry. What manner of persons ought we to be in all holy conversation and godliness? And matter of fact, when you click on that word, when you look deeper into that word conversation, it says manner of life, conduct, behavior. Okay, so how I can really have to check their behavior, because you got to understand, in this lifetime, Yahweh Shai, he's not on the earth right now. So really, we're supposed to be the image of Yahweh Shai unto the scattered flock. Okay, so when brothers are watching your video, and they see, you're pretty much being disorderly, it sets a stumbling block. All right, and it also brings blame upon the ministry when you do things like that. When you're being disorderly. Okay. All right, so let's read that verse again. It says, this 2 Peter's chapter 3, verse 11. "Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness?" And that's right, man. So knowing that you're supposed to be the image of Yahweh Shai, all right, you have to make sure you're not being blameful, because Yahweh Shai was blameless. Okay, you have to make sure you're not, exactly, that's what I meant to say. You have to make sure you're not being you have to make sure that you're being blameless. Okay, Salakia. All right, so let me grab this verse real quick, because this is all gonna this is first 2 Peter chapter 1, and I'll start at verse 3. It says, "According as his divine power hath given us all things that pertain unto life and godliness, through the knowledge of him that hath called us to glory and virtue." That's right, man. When you check out Wisdom of Solomon, okay, it tells you, Wisdom of Solomon, I believe 8 verse 5, it tells you that it teaches you virtues. Okay, and one of those virtues that it mentions is temperance. All right, and when you look up temperance, it pretty much means self-control. All right, and matter of fact, we'll grab it later on after I read this verse. It says, verse 3, "According as his divine power hath given unto us all things that pertain unto life and godliness, through the knowledge of him that hath called us to glory and virtue." Okay, it says, "Whereby are given unto us an exceeding great and precious promises, that by these ye might be partakers of his divine nature, having escaped the corruption of this world," it's like the corruption that is in this world through lust. It says, "Beside this, giving all diligence, add to your faith virtue." It says, "And to virtue knowledge, and to knowledge temperance." And that's really what I wanted to touch on is the temperance. So let's check out that word in a blue letter. All right, so I'll play it real quick.
Strong's G 1466. Ekrataya. Ekrataya.
Right. And when you look at the definition, it says what? Self-control. It says the virtue of one who masters his desire and passion, especially his sensual appetites. It's kind of ironic that it says sensual appetites, because when you check this out, apparently, others couldn't hold back their appetite, but really it's talking about your lust. All right. But it still plays a factor, okay? Because it all plays into what? Having self-control, all right? Making sure you're not bringing a bad name upon the ministry, okay? Because when brothers or when somebody who's never seen a GMS video sees that video, they're gonna say, okay, these are how to how GMS is, all right? Your image, you're bringing a bad name upon the ministry, being disorderly in that type of way. So really it's not upon just you, it's really upon the whole ministry. So that's why you have to be careful and watch how you conduct yourself, especially when you're doing the work. You're supposed to give your all in this thing, man. All right, so let me read this real quick. Matter of fact, Salakia, let me grab that in Wisdom of Solomon that I had mentioned earlier. All right, so this is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 8, and I started. Really, the point is in 7, but I started verse 5. It says, if riches be a possession to be desired in this life, what is richer than wisdom, that worketh all things? And if prudence work, who of all that is a more cunning workman than she? It says, and if a man love righteousness, her labors are virtues, for she teaches temperance and prudence. And that's the point. She teaches. That's what virtues teach. Okay, because when you check out that word virtue, it's just it pretty much means different aspects of wisdom. Okay, let me see something real quick. Salakia. Sometimes this thing mess up. It pretty much means different aspects of wisdom. Okay, one of those aspects is temperance. Okay, and temperance is what? Self-control. Conduct. Okay, how are you being disorderly or are you being orderly? That's another thing. Order plays a big factor in the ministry, man. In this faith, man. Because if you out of order, man, you out of line. You out of order, man. You need to get in order. Or the Heavenly Father's gonna check you. Either he's gonna check you and he's gonna take you to proof, or he's gonna check you and you're not gonna like it. Alright, let's jump back. And really, I didn't want to make this too long. I just had just this last scripture right here. This is 2 Thessalonians chapter 3, and I'll start at verse 7. It says, for yourselves know how ye ought to follow us, for we have not behaved ourselves disorderly among you. That's right, man. And that's really what we're doing, really what we're conveying unto the lost flock, okay, and to the men that are out there that are part of the elect, okay, that are just learning of the knowledge that, of course we don't know we're of the elect, but that's who we're trying to reach. Okay, we're teaching them to what? Follow us. That's why the scriptures say what? And really, we're not teaching them to follow us. We're teaching them to follow AHCHYAM. Okay, that's why the scriptures say, "Be ye followers of me, even as I am a follower of Hamashiach AHCHYAM." All right. So in doing that, you have a duty. Okay, you have a job to make sure that you're being orderly. Okay, in conveying the words of Hamashiach AHCHYAM. Okay, because when we're doing these videos, we're treading upon heavy waters, man. This is not something light. This is not a game. Okay, this is the work and words of Yahweh by Hashem AHCHYAM. All right, this is the heaviest substance upon this earth. Okay, So let's read that again. This is 2 Thessalonians 3:7. For yourselves know how ye ought to follow us, for we have not behaved ourselves disorderly among you, neither did we eat any man's bread for naught, but wrought with labor and travail day and night, that we might not be chargeable to any of you. Okay, and being chargeable is like matter of fact, let's look it up. Because it tells you like, be burdensome. Okay, and it goes along with being blameful. Okay, so it says overcharged, be chargeable unto, be chargeable. Oh, Salakia. It says to be burdened upon a load or to be burdensome. Okay, and that pretty much goes along with what? Being blameless or being blameful. Okay, that's why I said what? They wrought with travail day and night, that they might not be chargeable unto them. Okay, so it says not because we have not power, but to make ourselves an ensample unto you to follow us. Okay, and like I mentioned, the scriptures say what? Be ye followers of me, even as I am a follower of Hamashiach. So that if that's what you're conveying, if that's what you are that's what I meant to say. If that's what you're conveying, okay, you just watch, and things like that. Really, it's common sense, man. It's really just common sense. Things like that. Only Jake would do stuff like that, man. But I'm gonna read that verse again. It says, "For even when we were with you," verse 10. It says, "For even when we were with you, this we command you." No. Salakia, verse 9. It says, "Not because we have not power, but to make ourselves an example unto you to follow us." And that's what you're supposed to be, man. You're supposed to be the proper example. Okay? Supposed to be watching your conduct, watching, being circumspect of the things that you were doing. Really, you're supposed to be the one checking yourself. But sometimes it gets to the point where the Lord has another man check you, because sometimes you don't see it, Hey, but with that, man, I hope this was edifying to you, brothers. Brothers, just, make sure you're being circumspect of yourselves, and being orderly. The scriptures say a precious name, Salakia, a good name is better than precious ointment, So, make sure you're keeping that good name, okay? As a matter of fact, before I close out, let me grab this scripture real quick. It's in my apocryphal. Salakia, bear with me, brother. This I'm gonna get it down here. It's Rock chapter 33 and 22. Let me grab that real quick. I'm gonna close right out. This is Sirach chapter 33, verse 22. It says, "And all thy works keep to thyself the preeminent."